What's going on, guys? I'm Icy Rhythms, and this is my review for Wolfenstein II. I can't really say why it was always this way, but it just was this way. I've never really been much of a Wolfenstein guy. I do regret that now, at least with these last few games. Never been much of a Wolfenstein guy, which is weird because I like stuff like Doom or Duke Nukem back in the day, Unreal, and then of course we would move on to stuff like the first few Halo games or Half-Life 2 or, you know, BioShock, Borderlands, if I didn't mention that. Things like that, games like that were always awesome to me. And Wolfenstein, I just never really got interested in trying to play more of these games. And I don't really know why. I have sat on the New Order and the Old Blood for way too long. So this week, I just went hard on all three games. I beat them all. The New Order, the Old Blood, and of course Wolfenstein 2. I just put like whatever it took to get through them. They're not extremely long games. I think you can probably beat them all in around 12 to 20 hours each, maybe even less than that for the Old Blood. I'm not really sure, but they're awesome games, and I sat on those. Again, I sat on the New Order and the Old Blood just way too long, and I regret that now because these games are awesome. They are really special, and I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, you should play them. The technology, the visual presentation of Wolfenstein 2 is probably just as impressive, if not more impressive, than the fictional technology that the Nazis in these games have access to. There is such a huge jump, such a huge leap in the technology between id Tech 5 and id Tech 6, and I think I see it even more now than I did with when you look at stuff like Rage or the New Order, the Old Blood, those games going from those to Doom 2016. I'm seeing an even bigger jump from those games moving to Wolfenstein 2, and that was a big jump. Doom 2016 is no slouch. It runs amazing. It looks amazing even now. Like I love Doom 2016, but I feel like in many ways the art style chosen, you know, just the different particle effects and everything, this game is actually on another level. And I think it shows a little bit because on consoles, they couldn't get this quite at a consistent 60 FPS like they did with Doom. I feel like Doom on consoles, Doom on PC probably does run a little bit better. But if you have a capable PC, this shouldn't be much of an issue for you. You can run right around 100 FPS or more, I believe, and it still looks absolutely amazing. Like this game, probably now, after playing it all the way through and just being super impressed with everything, a top 5, top 10 looking game, not just of this generation, but ever. I mean, it looks that good. I feel like the character models are actually really good, especially, again, you know, that huge step up from the previous games. They're really good looking character models, but I was more impressed with, again, things like the environments and the variety with those environments, particle effects. They did things with water simulation that I just wasn't expecting. You don't really get a lot of water in games like these, and even when you do, usually it's not something that you can mess around with or manipulate in any way. This game does something that I don't really see maybe any game do. When you're standing in the water where your waistline is versus the water, you can actually see some of those ripple effects as you move through the water, and I really like that. I'm not saying that there's no game that does that, but I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. There's not a lot of games that when you're in the water swimming or standing in it, you get those really nice ripple effects as you move in one direction or even the other direction. If you look behind you, you can see some of those ripples. It's special. It looks really good, and I was actually surprised. Machine Games, I don't know what you're doing, but just stick to this. Keep doing more of this. I can't wait to see what you do with Wolfenstein 3 or whatever you decide to call the next one. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I know it's going to look awesome because it's going to run on this engine. I am blown away, guys. This game looks that good. Play it on your console, play it on your PC, use it as a benchmark even. I mean, maybe it's not the greatest benchmark game because it does look that good and it does run that well. And this game is special. I'm telling you, it's very special. And as far as visuals go, I mean, I almost can't put it into words how great this game looks.
Good to hear you getting close, William.
So playing off of that, the technology of the game and the visual presentation of the game, a lot of that wouldn't work. A lot of that wouldn't be as awesome. You know, the blood effects, the gore, all of that stuff. If the gameplay wasn't amazing. The gameplay is absolutely amazing. When this game is on, it's on. It's very special. It's very awesome when it's on. It's right up there with the best shooters that you can think of. This game is just as good, if not better, at times. I really liked it. I think if there were some negatives, first of all, one of the negatives has not been fixed since launch. Machine Games, please fix this. There is a could not write to crash dump error, and that happened to me in my, I don't know, right around 15 to 22, 23 hours, something like that session. Not an entire session of just me playing all the way through, but the entire 20 hours or so, I got it, I want to say like 3 or 4 times, could not write crash dump, something like that, and I researched it. Apparently this has been there since launch. People have been complaining. I think even at one point when I was just trying the game when it launched, I complained about it. It still has not been fixed. I don't know what's going on here. Machine Games, please fix this. It is a minor inconvenience, but still an inconvenience, and I've done every possible trick, every possible so-called fix, and still I still get the error. If anyone that sees this review has any suggestions, I will gladly take you up on that and take that into consideration. But other negatives, you know, as good as the gameplay, as good as it can be at times, just dual wielding certain weapons. That's another thing too, is like you gotta pick your poison, and this is some really good poison, because whether it's, you know, dual wielding assault rifles or having one assault rifle in one hand and a shotgun in the other, those are good combinations. I like those combinations, but I actually prefer upgrading the shotguns a little bit, because those shotguns just destroy absolutely everything. I mean, they obliterate anything and everything in your path. I mean, there really isn't anything that they can't deal with, in my experience. But the shotguns, you know, this is supposed to be an over-the-top game at times. They might be a little OP. For those who have played, you know, the shotguns they're pretty incredible. You can attack different situations. You know, of course, there's a little bit of stealth. I don't really like stealth in my over-the-top shooters. I'll kill like maybe the first 2 or 3 guys, and then after that I'm guns blazing. You know, you have the commanders that you need to worry about, but it's actually kind of exciting at times to screw up, because then they call in all this crazy backup and you're just blasting everything, and there's blood on the walls, there's chunks of guts and other body parts all over the floor and the walls. I mean, why wouldn't I want this? Or pulling out some of the weapons in the game can literally obliterate them into like little fire particle effects, so why wouldn't I do this? I mean, I guess there's like some little like blood goo effect even after that, but it looks incredible. You guys have to play it for yourself. The water effects, fire effects, all of that stuff. I don't like playing stealth in my over-the-top shooters. I think stealth in general should just be eliminated from some of these games. I don't make them, you know, those aren't my design decisions, but I just wouldn't have it in the game, period. I want to shoot Nazis in the face, or in the case of Doom, or you know, something like Serious Sam, monsters, crazy monster designs, and demons, I want to blow them away. Like, I just don't care about killing them in some stealth fashion. That's not really my bag, baby, in these kind of games. But as good as the gameplay is, again, I think I was a little disappointed with the gameplay and cutscene ratio, the numbers there. I don't know what it is exactly. I didn't keep like a stopwatch available when I was playing versus when I was watching cutscenes and then adding it all up. But I would say for me it's too much, and if I was being nice, it's like a 40-60, maybe even in favor of the cutscenes, just kind of depends. It's probably more in favor of the gameplay. Again, I didn't time it, but I feel like these games look so good now, these engines look so good, and the character models in Wolfenstein II look even better than the last games, that you can tell me the story through the gameplay. You can tell me the story through the gameplay and I'll get it, and I'll still think it's just as good. And I just wish that I was playing it a little bit longer at times than I was watching it. And again, those were probably my complaints: the crash dump error, and maybe just at times feeling like I want to play this section of the game more than they allowed me to. There is a slight fix for that. You can alleviate that in some ways, because later in the game you'll be able to go back to some of those same areas and take out even more important commanders, and just have more gameplay time if just rushing through the story isn't your thing. I did do probably 4 or 5 of those. I enjoyed them. I'm going to do more of them, because even after the game's over, one of the characters tells you, hey, they're still out there doing this, but we have work to do. Let's get back to it. And that's really kind of the thing, is you going back out there and doing more of those side missions until they're done. Maybe there's an alternate ending once you do all of those. I'm not really sure, but they're fun. They're a lot of fun. It's just more of you blasting guys in the face with these amazing weapons in the game. I don't really know what you would complain about as far as that goes.
I love strawberry milkshake. It's perhaps my favorite American thing. So simple. It's just milk and ice cream.
What is it with you damn Jews? Have all the answers, do you? Smart mouth goddamn Jew. I married you, I figured your father'd be an asset, but you just a damn millstone, sticking your nose into my business instead of handling your own. If you can't raise a boy right, I'll do it for you.
The story in Wolfenstein 2 is, what's there really to tell, right? Like, you're BJ Blazkowicz, you live to kill Nazis. That's what this is all about. But there is more to it than that. What I didn't see, and maybe I'm just blind to it, I don't know, but there was a lot of talk, a lot of controversy with this game about, SJW pandering and a number of other things that are happening within this specific game, this specific story, and I just didn't see that. I felt like everything that was happening was playing off of what you experienced in the New Order. So if you enjoyed what you played and everything from the story there, I don't know why you wouldn't enjoy this game. Irene more or less sort of slips through your fingers in the New Order, and really you spend a good chunk of this game, this story, getting back at her, getting back to her, and a lot of the bullshit that she's been up to, and a lot of the things that she's done to BJ personally. So, and there's other things too, like they give you a little more backstory on BJ and his mother, which I thought was really well done. I didn't really care for the part with the dog. I'm really big on dogs, man. I'm a huge dog lover, so that was kind of hard on me. I think maybe that's just a testament to how good Machine Games is as a developer, that they made me actually feel something there. And then of course his father, kind of a complete scumbag, a real asshole, always kind of felt like his way was the right way and there was no other way, or it was gonna be the highway. And just trying to make BJ a lot more tough as a kid, because he's got moments where he's getting kind of, bullied and pushed around, and, kind of just bad-mouthing his mother right in front of him, and, calling her a smart-mouthed Jew, and, talking about this little black girl that BJ kisses at one point. It's it's really good. It's really well done. I'm sure some people didn't care for those moments, but I did. I like that a lot, and I think for what this game is, for being, BJ Blazkowicz, Live to Kill Nazis killer, the story is actually pretty good, and I would even say that for the other games as well. Like I said, I really wish I hadn't sat on these games as long as I did, because they actually, underneath the really fun gameplay, there's a lot of good story. And at one point in this story, they actually take it to another level. In the New Order, they get kind of crazy on you, and you go to the moon, right? That's crazy in and of itself. It's crazy that you're gonna do this mission on the moon. Well, they took that a step further and put you on Venus in the story in this game, and that's actually where you meet Hitler, and that's interesting. The level of security and everything is just a step above what you experienced on the moon, and you gotta play it. You gotta play it for yourselves. I don't want to spoil too much, but man, the story is good. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen. It does have pacing problems at time, combined with the gameplay and the downtime and that, but the story's really good. I think it's really good, and I think some of you, just based on my experience with my regulars in my comment section, would probably appreciate it as well.
I'm sorry. Did you need this boat?
Yes, motherfucker.
In conclusion, with Wolfenstein II, as I continue to clear this backlog, Wolfenstein, The New Order, and Old Blood included, I'm going to say that right now, as it stands right now, Wolfenstein 2 is my game of the year. I do think it's that good. I know that might seem rather high for some of you, just a shooting game, but Machine Games really knows what they're doing. The technology behind the game, coupled with how amazing the gameplay can be at times, and how good the story and the writing can be at times. Even though, like I said, negatives being, it does have some pacing issues. There's still that crash dump error that's been there since launch. I don't feel like Machine Games has any excuse for that, and I just feel like there should have been more gameplay in certain sections of the game than there actually is. I wish for more gameplay with Wolfenstein 3, or whatever they decide to call it, Wolfenstein, and then some, title after the fact. But I want another one, like yesterday. I want it yesterday. These games are that good. They're that fun. And even though I would say they're all a 9 for me as shooter games, I'm going to say that Wolfenstein 2, just given everything that I've seen, everything that I've experienced, it took things to another level. I'm going to say it's a 9.5. Again, it might be rather high for some of you, but I feel it's very deserving of that, and I'm not going to change my mind on that score. So thank you guys again for the continued support. I really do appreciate it. You guys have all been great. Like this review, share this review, put it on Twitter, put it on Reddit, wherever you can help me. It's all greatly appreciated. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. There will be more. I would say you'll get at least 2, maybe 3 more reviews from me before the year is over. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm hoping to get a little bit more busy, which is going to cause some issues for video making as well as streaming. So we'll see what happens. You guys take care. Peace.